Hello, my name is Boris from DJIG LLC. I'm a government contracting consultant. I work with small businesses, medium-sized businesses, even large businesses win government contracts. I'm a top-rated talent on Upwork. I'm also on Fiverr. In today's video, we're going to talk about SBIR vs STTR. So those are two government programs that pretty much help with grants or fundings. Those two programs are very, very similar, but they are different. There are some differences that will help you to understand which one will be the best fit for you, right? Now, a company might be eligible for both based on the kind of project that they're working on, but usually I believe you can only be eligible for one. But okay, now let's go back here and talk about it. SBIR program, it's more for a small business that has a innovative idea that they want to bring to light. And that innovative idea could be a physical product or a digital product that will serve a purpose for the government. Because the goal of that program is to be able to nurture that idea funded through the three different phases that the SBIR program has, which is the first one is the proof of concept, the second one is the R&D, research and development, and then the third phase is the commercialization of this idea that you have. If it's a physical product, then that means physical product. If it's a digital product like a software or whatever the digital form of that product, then you will bring that to commercialization, right? So but then on the other side, the STTR program, it's more for research, right? It's more for small companies that are into a research in which they partner with a research institutions that is also eligible for that program, right? So then that means that if you are working, let's say you're working on on a medical research, right, and you're working with a university or something like that to help you be able to accelerate your research, then you can go through the STTR program, apply and show that you are working on the research and you're the benefit of that research, and this is how we can help the government, this is how we can help people of the country, and this is the problem that we're trying to resolve, right? So you have a difference here. So one is a product development approach and the other one is more like a research development approach, so very difficult. Even though on the product side there's still research and development, but end goal here is a finished product, right? Versus on the research, it's more like, okay, whatever result comes out of that research, whatever data, whatever information comes out of that research, it's kind of like the end product, right? If it's a process, if it's a new process that will be developed, if it's a new way of solving a problem or treating a specific disease or whatever, this is the end result of that process when you go through the STTR program. So you have two different end goals, but the approach and the process and the phases to go through are very similar, right? In the SBIR, phase one is proof of concept, right? In the STTR program, phase one is the proving the fiability of the research, right? And then in SBIR phase 2, assuming that you pass phase 1, phase 2 is the R&D, research and development, right? And then in phase 2 it's more research and development after you pass the first the first phase. And then the phase 3 for both is pretty much the same, right? So which is commercialization, right? Except the end result is different. When we're talking about product, one is talking about research, which that usually comes, the end result is like a process or whatever, right? So yeah, so those are two different funding opportunity for small businesses that you could be using. Now, another big difference is also on the amount awarded on those programs. Obviously, SBIR is bigger. SBIR is about, I believe, it's 3 billions a year that they spend on it, versus STRR is hundreds. It's like, I believe, several hundred of millions, but it doesn't get to the billion. So you can kind of see the difference already. Our SBIR has a lot more attention, And then another difference will also be, I guess, the eligibility, right? The eligibility in the SBIR, it's mainly the company, that is eligible, that one company, the small business, and as long as the owner, the majority owner is American or is a permanent resident. But on the STTR, it's more like the small business itself, but also the research institution that they work with also has to be eligible, right? So it's not just for small business. So that's a difference too that is good to note as well. Now, another difference too that is pretty important to note is in phase two, once you get to phase two, the funding amounts are different. In phase two, the SBR provides more, I believe up to 2 millions for the phase two. For the phase two year, let me just double check my notes here. Yes, it is right. Actually, up to 1.8 million for SBR, and then for STTR, it's about 1 million, I believe. Here, let me double check my note here very quick. Yes, it is about 1 million to up to 1 million for SCTR. So you see that, you can see there is heavy support on the financial side on the SBR, but then you have to remember that once you go on the SCTR on the research, another advantage that has that the SBR doesn't have, it's the talent that you get access to, the material that you get access to, because with STTR you get to work with experts in the field to help you push your research forward. That's an advantage that you don't have on the SBR program. So those are just few things that you need to consider, which one is going to be the best fit. But again, those are completely, the end result is different, so I don't even think that it will be hard to decide which way to go to if you're clearly working on research, versus trying to develop a product or a solution that will end into a physical product or even, a digital product or whatever. Then you will clearly know, then you can easily see the distinction here. So yeah, so I will say, I would like you to, few things that I would like you to note here is, the end results is very what makes the difference of those programs, but also the funding that you get through the programs are also a big difference that you have to note. And then lastly, the eligibility criteria are different. I would say that the SCTR is a little bit harder to be eligible just because you have to work with a research institution that is already that is eligible to the program as well. So it's not just you. Now you have two different entities that have to be eligible. So that that a little bit more. But yeah, this is all about the difference between SBR and STTR. And if you need any assistance to getting through application process in order to help your business get funding, feel free to reach out to us. We will be able to assist us. Thank you for watching. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Thank you.